Okay, the first two videos of this project has been creating bolt in our nut and bolt project. And we've been working with bodies. Um, a body is a 3D feature that we've applied, okay, to create a body. So we've taken our two-dimensional sketch, applied a feature, and created a body, which is our shape, our three-dimensional shape. Um, And we've been working with splitting the bodies. Okay. We have combined them. We've experimented with the intersect operation when we've gone back and combined our bodies. So we're starting to see some different uses of bodies in our designs. So just real quick in a nutshell, body. It's a it's taking our 2D geometry and creating some type of three-dimensional shape object with it. Okay. We've created components at this point, and we're going to get into more into components in our next project and explaining a little bit more about what those are, where they can be a collection of multiple bodies and pieces. And let's see, we've also seen that components are what we need to bring um, our base designs or previous designs and insert them into a current design. So we're going to create a component here. We're going to add our nut to the bolt. And in doing so, we're going to create a construction plane from the top bottom plane, and we're going to elevate the nut on our design. The nut will be designed a little differently, even though it's going to look very similar to the top of our bolt, the head of the bolt, where we split the body away from the shaft of the bolt, came back and combined the circular head and the polygon shaped head of the bolt in an intersect function to get these rounded edges on the top of it. Um, this time we are going to do that in a little bit more efficient manner by extruding them with the intersect. So we'll create a circle like we did, the circular portion, extrude it up with add the fillet to it. Then we'll extrude up create the polygon, extrude it up. But instead of separate bodies and then coming back and combining them, we'll use the intersect function in the extrude. A little bit more efficient, but I wanted you to see both. So, oh, and the last piece, then we'll do an analysis of the nut on the bolt and line up our threads. So that's going to be this project. All right, let's start. First thing we're going to do is create our new component. Oops, excuse me. That was an awful noise. New component. All right, our parent is the nut and bolt. It's already selected. The new component is going to be named nut. I'm going to click OK. All right, we've got a new component in place. Now, bolt. Let's make our bodies, let's hide them, okay? It'll make this whole process easier. So there, going. All right, nut is active. Well, let's go back and look at that real quick. Let's bring those back. Notice how when I created the nut, the bolt kind of went transparent on us. Now I can toggle back and forth. As you see, I'm up here in the browser. If I make that active by clicking on the little circle there, the bolt comes back. But I want the nut component to be my active component. So I'm click on it, then the bolt then it's transparent because it's not the active piece that we're working on. All right, I'm going to hide it, and I'm going to create a construction plane. So an offset plane from the top bottom, and we're going to go up 20 millimeters. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to create my first sketch. Remember, I'm going to elevate that nut up the shaft of the bolt on the threads. So I'm going to start with an offset plane that allows me to start my sketching there. So I'm going to create a sketch on my offset plane, and I'm going to create two circles. The first one from the origin is going to be 12 millimeters. That's the internal diameter of my bolt. It's M12 metric. So there we are. And the external circle is going to be 23.094 millimeters. All right. And we have our two circles. We're going to finish sketch here, the home position, and we are going to extrude this by how many millimeters? Where is it on my instructions? Okay, couldn't find it on my instructions there for a second. I'm going to extrude it by 10 millimeters. Click OK as a new body. And we're going to add a 2 millimeter fillet to the top edge. So outer edge, 2 millimeters. Remember, that's that nice rounded portion there that we will create. It'll create that place for the wrench to easily slide over after we bring our polygon up, extrude it. Okay, so the circular portion of the nut is complete. We need a new sketch. We need to make our construction plane visible again because we're going to need that sketch on the construction plane. So I expanded my component nut in the browser, expand construction plane. So let's bring that back. All right, now just to make sure we don't select the body, I'm going to hide the body that we've created so far. Okay, right there in the browser, create sketch. On my construction plane, we are going to create a polygon, and it's going to be a circumscribed polygon. All right, 10 millimeter radius, 6 sides, hit enter. There we are. Okay, now let's okay, so there's my polygon. I'm going to finish sketch. Let's bring back the body that we have created already. Let's extrude. There's my shape, 10 millimeters. Okay, now it comes up as cut. We don't want our operation to be cut. Here's where I was talking about. We're going to change our operation to intersect. Okay, so what this will do is this will bring up our polygon shape, 10 millimeters, but it'll only keep the area where the existing body that we've created and the polygon extrusion will have common space, okay, where they share space. So I've changed my operation to intersect. Let's click OK. And there's the nut. All right. We need to go ahead and add our threads to the nut. So let's do that. So let's go create thread. The face is going to be the interior face of the nut. So I'm going to click on that. We want our threads to be molded, full length, the isometric profile, and we want M12 by 1.5 to match what we did. And that looks complete. I'm about to get so Got our face selected. It is modeled. Our size automatically goes 12 millimeters, and our designation is M12 by 1.5. Click OK. All right, so we're threaded. Okay, let's bring back the body of the bolt. And let's make this active. Okay, now our bolt head and the body, the shaft, are two different bodies at this point in time. We really need to combine these two bodies into one body. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our modify menu and we're going to combine these two bodies. The target will be the cap and the shaft will be the tool. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that done. Modify, combine. There's our target body. Actually, I need to deselect that. I'm going to select the cap as the target body. The tool body will be the shaft. Our operation will be join. We'll click OK. All right, so now we've brought that down to the bolt. We've got the nut, and our last piece is to create our analysis and line the nut up. All right, in this last step, we are going to do our analysis because we need to get the threads of the nut lined up with threads of the bolt. So we're going to go inspect. Where's my mouse? There it is. Inspect, not insert. Section analysis. Okay, I'm going to select the front back plane. Okay, make sure you select the plane. And there's my slice for my analysis. Let's click OK. Let's go to the front view using the view cube. I'm going to click on front. And I'm going to zoom in on my nut here. And you can see the threads of my nut are not lined up with the threads of the bolt. So there's body one in my browser here under the nut. Let's right click on it and move copy. We can take the arrow here and let's go up 1 millimeter. That looks lined up to me. Click OK. Beautiful. Let's go back to the home position. Let's hide the analysis. There we are. You will need to take a screenshot of that analysis. And to reactivate it, you just go to your browser, click on the eyeball. There it is. Okay. You can hide it or show it. And now that completes the project. So you'll have your screenshots. I know there's one from the home position and the analysis you'll need to take from the front. I put all those screenshots required on Rockspace for a reason, because that way I don't have to remember them. You get to read and find out what you need to submit. And that is all for this project.